Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and sometimes the gaming industry just doesn't make any sense. And I'll get into what I mean by that, but first things first, let's go ahead and get ourselves a build going. Alright, so we're doing player's choice, actually. So I'm going to take that opportunity to go with the classics because, hey, sometimes it just takes a while to get around to them, and what can I say, I love Dale North's compositions. Alright, so first things first, why don't we pick ourselves a robe? I think this seems like a good time to break out a signature spam build. But what signature do we want to spam? I know what signature I like to spam. Yoo-hoo! But let's have a look and see if there's anything else that I really like to try out. I mean, Tectonic Drill is a pretty good spam, not gonna lie, but I think like that one. Like that one. Aqua Breaker is a good spam. I can dig that. Aqua Beam is a really good spam. Spamming Chaotic Buster and Distortion Beam is really good. Same with Phantom Brigade. Yeah, let's go with that. Then, what do I want to use aside from that? I think what I want is something that acts as a good get off me, but while I summon my Phantom Brigade and have them take care of my dirty work for me. So Dragon Dive is a pretty decent one. Keep looking. Blazing Vault is particularly fun. So is Blazing Lariat. See, that I like that one. That'll be particularly good at charging signature. Let's see. Then I need something good for keeping enemies off my back. Like, once again, we can go with Frost Feint. And lastly, we'll go Bolt Rail. That sounds workable and fun. And I think for our starting relic, let's wear the crown. Why not? I think that sounds like a fine idea. Oh, look at that. I don't even have to think. Give me that. Grab some starting gold. There's a part of me that wants to start at Atlas. There's another part of me that says just go. Let's just go and see what happens. Why? Why is it always? Just always. Why do you always have to be the last one? What happened to that stretch of time where it was just no one but Zeal? I could fight Zeal some more. Can we fight Zeal? Is it just always Atlas just because? Just due to pure hatred? Okay, what do we have here? Well, we can upgrade Frost Feint. There's really no reason not to do that, honestly. Then, how do I feel about Blazing Lariat? You know, before I even worry about that, let's... There we go. This is working out really nicely. Yes, spam the soldiers! You will know no quarter while my knights draw breath. I like the idea of getting the perfect time crystal, but if I take this as it is, yes, I'll have way more charged signatures, but their damage will be reduced. Alright, so while I'm debating that... let's come up here and... So, as for what I meant earlier when I said the gaming industry confuses the crap out of me... Pardon me. Yeah, that didn't feel right. So, as we all know, it's been just a little bit since Baldur's Gate 3 released, and let's be fair, that game is getting some major accolades. Like, it's so... Like, it is so far the game that has the highest Metacritic rating of the year. The one to beat before Baldur's Gate 3 was Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, God. Maybe that exemplifies my point, even though I love the game, but Tears of the Kingdom. And it's pretty easy to see why. It's a huge milestone, not just for... Hold on while I shift in my seat a little bit. It's a huge milestone for not just Zelda games, but for adventure games and open world sandbox games as well. As there's more that you can do in Tears of the Kingdom than I would have ever thought possible. And yes, I am going to grab this, even though it might be a bad idea. This will not be a bad idea. At least I hope it won't. But the whole idea being that is that a giant game just got released that people are just absolutely loving. And it shows, not just by the ratings, but by some of the effort that's been put into it. People respond to that kind of effort that gets put into games like that. And when I say games like that, I mean... Okay, that was awful. Oh, hello, more Sylvan help. I like that, but... I mean, the game has, like, from what I've heard, it's something along the lines of, like, 17,000 different ending variations. which means things like minor things like your race, your class, your subclass, all of that. All of that obviously will play a role in what kind of ending you get. There's something like 2 million words of spoken dialogue in the game, and it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of time and effort that's gone into making it. But it's not something that just kind of showed up out of nowhere. It's not like someone just showed up to the table and said, "Hey, here's my giant game." No, things like that take effort, and I believe the developers, Larian, have been spending lots of time getting this one just right. And theirs is a studio that has essentially been through hell and back. Their last 2 games were also pretty highly rated RPGs. It was Divinity Original Sin and then Original Sin 2. So it's not like they don't have any experience. Okay, that relic is just kind of pointless. But it's not like they don't have any experience in the RPG field. Those are 2 highly acclaimed RPGs where there's lots of different options as to, again, stupid shit that you want to do. Like, they're really all about putting time and effort into making their games. Alright, I am going to... Here we go, because I want to use Bounty Hunter Seal. And no thanks. Now, I'm putting that the way that I am because I want you to understand that this is not some sort of, like, fluke of a game. It took efforts to get to where they are now. They didn't just randomly decided, "Oh, we're gonna make a hundreds of hours long RPG based on one of the biggest entertainment properties in the world currently, and we're just gonna do this just because we feel like it." No, they really had to put in the time and effort to get to where they are. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, and also the reason why I say I don't understand the gaming industry as it exists today, is because that effort, instead of being lauded by the developers, by other developers around them, is being called essentially an anomaly and something that shouldn't be considered an expectation. And that's flooring me right now. Like, are we not aware that it's these big releases, these tentpole games that come out that define what video games can become? Okay, I'm in trouble. Fortunately, Dr. Song is right here. So what's basically happened is that even before the game's released, and keep in mind, Baldur's Gate 3 is nothing that came out of nowhere. This was in early access for like 3 years. So again, it's not like this game's existence is a surprise to anybody. Oh, we are not getting anything good, are we? Give me that. I don't even think I really want it, but there it is. Grab that. That'll be useful. Alright, give me that, and then because I want to hold on to this, do that. Oh, beautiful. Alright. That was worth it. So, to put it more specifically, what these other devs, and when I say other devs, I don't mean devs within Larian Studios themselves, but I mean, like, devs from, like, let's just say Ubisoft and Obsidian Entertainment and there was one other studio that I know that they had devs saying this, bewildering crap from, but I can't remember which studio it was now, so you'll have to forgive me. But they've basically all been saying the same thing. It's like a game this big with this much content and with everything that they've put into it, this is not something that should be considered a standard. You just don't have the time or the money or the what have you in order to make a game like this all the time. We can't normalize this. And on one hand, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I get it. If it were smaller studios saying this, then that would be a fair assessment. That would be like, okay, not everyone has the money, the time, the technology, what have you, in order to make something ridiculous like Baldur's Gate 3. Here's the problem. Most of the devs that are saying that are devs from the bigger teams that have the money, that have the technology, that have the people to do things like this. And that's why I'm saying the gaming industry is bewildering to me at times. We're not just talking about, big developers. We're not talking AA, we're not talking indie. We're talking the triplest of triple A's, like the sorts of publishers that rake in monolithic amounts of money. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not using that as just a means to use a 4-syllable word. No, they by all means make more money in a year than some entire nation's gross domestic product within a year. They have the wherewithal. They just don't want to do it. And it's partially because they're just assholes. But it's also partially because they've convinced themselves that people don't want these like big single player experiences. They're convinced that the only thing that works is these stupid multiplayer Skinner box live services. And they've either convinced themselves of it, or they've just decided this is the only thing that should exist because this is what makes us the most money. And I think it's sad that for a lot of these people who probably went into making video games in the first place because they wanted to scratch that creative muscle, or flex that creative muscle. Okay, so let me explain that one. I was starting to say scratch that creative itch, and then partway through it, I changed which simile I was using, and then my brain put the two of them together and said, there, that goes together like oranges and sauerkraut. And somehow my brain didn't stop to think about that and went, oh, that's actually kind of disgusting. Can we take that back? We definitely take that. But what they're basically saying is, we don't want to normalize a game of this scope because we don't want to make a game of that scope. I'm just looking at that statement going, oh, you cheap, stupid motherfuckers. I think it's funny that it's a lot of the bigger studios saying this too. It's not... Again, we're not expecting things like this from small indie double A studios, but if you're from Ubisoft or Obsidian, who by the way are making Unavowed, which should probably shed a little bit of light as to why they don't want to have to deal with Baldur's Gate 3's competition. Jesus Christ. Now, I've already stated that the whole reason for that, I'm pretty certain. Jesus, leave me alone. God, I hate Atlus's stage so much. It's not just giant area of effect attacks, but it's giant area of effect attacks that are also homing. Like, you have no idea how frustrating Atlus is to deal with, and he almost always kills me. Ugh, this run is going to piss me off because this was designed to be a strong run and I fucked up. But let me finish what I was saying. It's the people that should be okay with the bar being raised are the ones who are going, no, let's keep it down here. And so far in all the cases that I've seen about this, it's the people making the laziest, most creatively bankrupt bullshit that are making those statements, and it's downplaying the work that Larian put into making such a huge game. It's downplaying people who want to do creative things in like at all. It's putting to shame people that take hours, years out of their lives to make something beautiful, and basically just saying, "Yeah, you don't matter." And that is why I'm so appalled by the gaming industry as it stands. This is, if anything, it makes me want to buy Baldur's Gate 3 more, just because I know it's going to piss off the this section of the gaming industry that doesn't want to create anymore. They just want to make these lazy cash cow Skinner box live services and just continue to bank on, the quote unquote whales, the very people that are paying their bills that they can't even equate with being human. I'm going to stop here because I'm about to go off on a rant, and you guys don't want to sit and stare at one screen while I do this. The topic that I'm about to get into, I might just want to save for an entirely different video. That's probably a good idea. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching me embarrass myself a second time in a row. If you're enjoying yourselves and you like what I have to say, go ahead and do the YouTube 5-step. It helps me out quite a bit. I appreciate you guys coming and spending some of your free time with me. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night, wherever you may happen to be. And I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and take care, everybody.